Xabi Alonso just took the hardest job in world football. Okay, that might sound crazy, especially when you consider the players he's going to inherit. Kylian Mbappe, Vinicius Jr, Bellingham, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Courtois, Rudiger, the list goes on and on. But that is what makes the Real Madrid job so difficult. Los Blancos are practically assembling the Galacticos 2.0. They are building a team full of superstars. They are hoping to continue their domination of Europe for years to come. But the last time they tried to do the same, it didn't go down so well. So is Xabi Alonso the man to finally make a Galactico era work at Real Madrid? There is absolutely no doubt that the Spaniard is one of the most promising young coaches in football. His time at Bayer Leverkusen was nothing short of extraordinary. He joined the German club and missed one of their worst starts in Bundesliga history. They were second from bottom after 8 games. In that season, he brought the team to a European semi-final, only missing out to Jose Mourinho's Roma, and secured Europe for the following season. And it was in that following season that something truly special happened. The German league has been dominated by Bayern Munich for well over a decade, with the Bavarian club winning the last 11 league titles before Alonso's arrival. And then Alonso went and won the thing without losing a single game. Game after game, people were waiting for Bayer Leverkusen to lose, but they just didn't. Countless last minute winners, countless last minute equalisers. They dominated games, they controlled games. It was sensational. 28 wins, 6 draws, 0 losses, 89 goals scored, and only 24 conceded. In just a span of 18 months, Alonso turned a team leaning towards relegation into one of Europe's best teams. But it wasn't just the fact he did it, it was how he did it. His football philosophy and tactical nous turned the West German club into a force to be reckoned with. They didn't make any major big money signings. Nope. Xabi Alonso turned the squad into a team of superstars. Florian Wirtz, Grimaldo, Frimpong, Boniface, Hincapié are just some of the names that through Alonso's coaching became some of football's best players that season. And now, the likes of Wirtz and Frimpong are set to make big money transfers to the Premier League, according to reports. Additionally, it wasn't just the Bundesliga that Alonso dominated. They also won the DFB Pokal, which is the German Cup, and remained unbeaten in the Europa League until the final. This means across all competitions they only lost once, and while it didn't happen, being one game away from an invincible treble is something that is very unlikely to ever happen again. So yes, we have established that Xabi Alonso is a very good manager, world class even, but being the manager of Bayer Leverkusen is a whole lot different than Real Madrid. At Leverkusen, Alonso built something. At Madrid, he'll be expected to inherit something and still win. That's a completely different kind of pressure. At the Bernabéu, tactics are important, but managing the egos of multiple superstar footballers, that is a completely separate task, and it is something we don't know if Alonso can handle. Of course, his years at the club during his playing days will give him an insight into the type of egos he'll come across, but knowing and dealing with them are not the same. Tactics win games, but managing egos wins dressing rooms. At Real Madrid, you're not just a coach, you're a politician, a psychologist, and a peacekeeper. And even if Alonso manages to win La Liga next season, there will be many fans out there deeming it a failure. Winning the league isn't enough for Real Madrid. Every season, the Champions League is the expectation. At most clubs, winning the league would earn a manager legendary status. At Real Madrid, it's just the minimum. The expectations are so high, that even domestic dominance can feel like a consolation prize. Every season, the Champions League isn't a dream, it's a demand. For Xabi Alonso, that means there's no grace period, no margin for error, and no transition season. From day one, he'll be judged not just on wins, but on who he beats, how he wins, and what silverware ends up in the cabinet. At Real Madrid, second place might as well be last. And at the club, since winning is always the demand, it does not matter what you have done in the past. Look at Carlo Ancelotti. He won the Champions League and League double last season, and now just one season where Real Madrid haven't looked their best, Madrid fans wanted him gone, and they got what they wanted. The same will happen to Alonso. He could win every trophy one season, and the next, he's lining back up outside the job centre. Xabi Alonso may be a beloved figure at Real Madrid, a Champions League winner, a midfield maestro, a symbol of class and intelligence on the pitch, but sentiment only goes so far at the Santiago Bernabéu. Florentino Perez has never let nostalgia get in the way of results. Just ask Zinedine Zidane, a club icon who delivered 3 consecutive Champions League titles and still found himself under pressure the moment the trophy stopped flowing. At Madrid, status buys you applause, not job security. If Alonso stumbles, the same fans who once sung his name could be calling for his replacement.
He'll go. He has to go, blood. He has to go, blood.
And Perez has never hesitated to pull the trigger. Alonso is returning to the club as manager, and his tactical acumen is almost second to none. But Los Blancos have a history of a tactical identity not even being part of the club. Zidane brought a controlled chaos, Ancelotti brought a calm, pragmatic style. Alonso is bringing a clear, fluid and structured attacking side. At the Champions League record holders, there's little patience for long-term projects or tactical experiments that don't deliver immediate results. Madrid fans are spoilt. They demand constant success. Even their biggest legends and heroes have all been subject to abuse from the Madridistas. Gareth Bale, Ronaldo, Casillas, what do they all have in common when it comes to the fans? They were all relentlessly booed from the stands at points during their Real Madrid careers. Yep, Madrid's best ever keeper, possibly their most loved captain ever, was booed by his own supporters. One of the greatest of all time, Ronaldo, yep, booed. Gareth Bale did say Madrid was his least priority behind Wales and golf, so we'll let the fans off on that one. But you understand the point. Taking over at Real Madrid means more than just managing a football team. It means becoming the face of a global institution steeped in history, power and expectation. Every step Alonso takes will be measured against the legends who came before him. Di Stefano, Zidane, Ancelotti and even the shadow of Mourinho. The weight of the badge is immense, and the scrutiny is relentless. At Madrid, success isn't celebrated for long. It's expected, demanded, and replaced by the next challenge almost immediately. Alonso isn't just inheriting a star-studded squad, he's inheriting the pressure of upholding a legacy that views anything short of greatness as failure. And this is why the Real Madrid job is one of the hardest in world football. He's proven he can build a team from the ground up, turn underdogs into champions and outthink some of Europe's best. But now, Xabi Alonso steps into a very different kind of arena. One where failure is unforgivable, patience is scarce, and every decision is dissected by millions. The lights are brighter, the stakes are higher, and the expectations are relentless. This isn't just the next chapter in his managerial career. It's the ultimate test of everything he stands for. Can he bring success to a club obsessed with results? Can he lead, not just survive under the most intense pressure in world football? One thing's for sure, at Real Madrid, greatness is the starting point, not the goal. So now, the stage is set. Xabi Alonso returns to the club where he once controlled the midfield, but this time, the responsibility is far greater. He's not just there to win, He's there to uphold a legacy, to manage egos, to deliver instant results, and to do it all under the most unforgiving spotlight in football. If he succeeds, he cements himself as one of the game's great modern managers. If he fails, he becomes just another name in the long list of those who couldn't handle the heat at the Bernabéu. The challenge is enormous, the pressure is suffocating, but if anyone can rise to it, it might just be Xabi Alonso.